Hi guys, are you interested to know what the new moon in Cancer on July 9th means for your sign? I'm here to break it down. My name is Anastasia. I'm a traditional Western astrologer. I do natal chart and other kinds of readings. I'm very active on Instagram. Check out the links in the description below. Please subscribe to my channel, hit like, and leave the comment. I really appreciate when you do that. So this new moon, it's happening in Cancer, 18 degrees Cancer. It will affect us all in different ways, but there's definitely general things that describe it. For the description specifically for your rising sign, there are timestamps down there, but I'm going to give you a short kind of insights into what it might be in general. So Cancer is the sign of emotional nurturance. It's the cardinal sign that initiates things from a place of feeling. It's asking, do I feel like this is worth it? Do I feel like it's going to give me the outcome that will make my soul feel warm and cozy and cuddly? It wants to start things when it feels like it. So here we are being asked to tap into things that we're passionate about. You're dependent on which house is activated by this full moon. What makes you feel like you are complete? What makes you feel like you are in the right place? What kind of people you surround yourself with? If it's in your 5th house or if it's in your 7th house, you will be asking a lot of these questions, and it's really great to set intentions to perhaps add more joy into your life and add more safety and security into your life. Cancer is a loyal sign. It's the sign that has a select few that it allows entrance in their life. At least Cancers I know, they really pick a few people and then they nurture them and they mother them and they take great care of them. And it doesn't have to be people, right? It doesn't have to be your family. It doesn't have to be your relationship, but there must be something in your life that you can devote yourself to. Something that you can patiently invest your time and energy and commit to for the next 6 months, which is basically what the lunations are. They signify new cycles for 6 months. This new moon is happening on July 9th, and then until the full moon in Cancer, which is Capricorn season, for another 6 months from now, you will be working on it, even though you might not consciously understand that you're working on it. For the most part, there's definitely good aspects. Uranus is sextiling it from Taurus, asking us to change things, asking us to innovate our old routines and do so in the Taurian way, in the earthy way, in the stable way. But you cannot keep things the same always. Even if they are stable and earthy, you still need to add something new. There are tough energies happening at the same time with Venus opposing Saturn on the 6th and squaring Uranus on the 8th. Venus will be at that point already past the square with Uranus, applying to a conjunction with Mars. So the overall theme of Venus challenges are something in your relationships with friends, with partners, with bosses, with lovers feels unsatisfying. There may have been some tension, there may have been some misunderstandings, some challenging emotions that you didn't express. Perhaps now you did because Venus squared Uranus on the 8th. But chances are there has been some unpleasantness or there has been some confusion about the way to proceed. Maybe your relationship, you don't know how to move it to the next level. Maybe you feel like your partner is not giving you enough. So there could have been some drama, and now Venus is applying to Mars, asking you once again to let go of the past challenges, learn from them. We're always, astrology and the history of astrology is always encouraging us to learn from the challenging experiences. So here it's like, what can you learn? How can you handle your relationships better? Because Venus-Mars conjunction on the 13th is really lovely. It's the beginning of a new cycle. It doesn't happen that often. Where we are learning to relate, where we're learning to embrace our power. Both of the planets are in Leo right now. How can you be yourself while also building strong relationships? A lot of deep questions, but we are at that point, I like that Venus is already separating from all the challenging aspects and moving towards Mars, where they will unite and talk it over. They can discuss their challenges and understand that we're all the same and we all want the same things and we connect. So even that, I think, is a relatively harmonious aspect overall. And of course, there's still that underlying tension in whichever part in your chart where you might be ready for a change, but you still have some work to do, which is that underlying Saturn-Uranus square this entire year. And I think this new moon is once again encouraging you to make changes in your life from a place of compassion and empathy and loyalty and feeling. Just tap into your feelings this week. Allow yourself to cry. Allow yourself to even hug yourself if you feel lonely with these challenging transits. But yeah, ask yourself, have you been feeling right? What can you change in your life to improve it? So what does it mean for your signs? Let's do a quick rundown. If you are an Aries rising, this new moon is happening in your 4th house. New beginnings in the sector of home, family, real estate, land, property. Maybe you are buying a place. Maybe you are moving. Maybe you are connecting with your family on a new level. Maybe you're taking a trip to see your family. There's definitely some kind of new beginnings connected, even if it's as simple as just redecorating. But what can you do to make your place cozier, more comfortable, and what can you do to make your relationships with your family members warmer? Maybe your parents have been going through a tough time. Maybe your mom has been going through a tough time. How can you nurture her and build a strong relationship with her, which in turn will nurture you? If you are a Taurus rising, this new moon is happening in your 3rd house. So 3rd house is siblings. It's your technology, it's your writing, it's communication, it's the realm of the mind. So there might be new beginnings in the way you look at the way you communicate. Maybe you're learning to communicate differently. Maybe you're starting a blog and quite literally you are beginning to communicate with people through a new source, right? Or starting a YouTube channel or starting an Instagram page. Something might be changing. There might be some new source of communication in your life. There might also be new beginnings in the lives of your siblings. Maybe you are connecting to a sibling in a whole new way. Maybe your sibling is going through a phase, they're starting a new school, they just had a baby, and you are learning what it's like when your sibling is a parent, and now there's new beginnings in your life because your sibling just had a new beginning. It could also be a lovely time to think about your technology, your schedule, your relationship with your roommates, your neighbors, your community, local environment. Maybe go to a new bar, maybe hang out with your neighbors, get to know them better, kind of root yourself in your environment, find more comfort in your environment. If you are a Gemini rising, this new moon is happening in your house of money and values. And quite literal with money. Maybe there's a way to pay off a debt. Maybe you're planning to pay off, maybe you just paid off a debt and now you're debt free and you're learning how to live life without any debts. Or maybe this 6-month cycle will be all about taking control of your finances. And a lot of it could also be your values, your confidence. Gemini risings has been, you guys have been through a lot with the eclipse season. There's a lot of questions of identity and who am I and how can I be my most authentic self and let go of all these self-limiting, self-defeating beliefs, for example. You're ready for some kind of revolution of your mind and consciousness. And I think with the new moon being in the 2nd house, look at your resources. Quite literally, if you are ready to start a podcast, if you're ready to move to a new country, if you're ready to start a new job, do you have enough money for it? Do you have enough sweaters if you're moving to Iceland? Just kind of think about your support system and your resources and maybe add more physical things into your life, as well as think about building your own confidence I don't know if you can hear it. New York has been crazy, crazy hot, and now it's going to rain, and I'm so excited. It's kind of been raining on and off already. Taking water break. If you are a Cancer rising, this new moon is happening in your first house, and this is of course very significant. First house is the house of self. It's how you present yourself, how you assert yourself, how you move, right? Like your body is there, your health is there. So how can you be there for yourself, Cancer? How can you treat yourself better? How can you prioritize yourself and not all the other people in your life? Because my best friend is a Cancer rising, and she's been going through a lot of I would say, like, there's been a lot of questioning of like, or like seeing herself through the eyes of other people. So I think this could be a moment of you looking at yourself more objectively and asking how you can nurture yourself better, how you can take better care of your health. Like, have you been happy with your body? Is there something you can do to take care of your mental health? So definitely lovely energy for reinventing your image, I would say. And if you have a business, you can also invest maybe some money into promoting your business or doing self-promotion. If you're looking for a job, you can think about what in your appearance what is supporting your new job and what might be not supporting it. If you are a Leo rising, this new moon is happening in your 12th house, and you're going through a new beginning in a spiritual way. Like, this could be a great time to start a spiritual practice, maybe begin meditating. I don't know if you'll enjoy it as much, but you can start journaling, you can start meditating, you can focus on letting go of an unhealthy pattern. Maybe you are too critical of yourself. Maybe you tell yourself that it's impossible to make X amount of money. Try to let go of some of those things. There might also be subconscious things and maybe like realizations. You find something out about your family or yourself, and that prompts that change. I would recommend perhaps spending more time alone if you're if you're a Leo rising. Just kind of going off on your own, spending some time in nature, and talking to yourself in a kinder way, like new beginnings of like less self-undoing, right? Like, what have you been doing, like, in your life? Have you been in relationship that's been unsatisfying? Have you been holding your tongue for the sake of pleasing other people? How can you find more balance and not think about other people as much? Or maybe think about other people but take their example and find someone who is very confident and happy with themselves and embody that. Change your I cannot into maybe I can. Start with maybe. If you can't just go to I can, do that. But even if you start with maybe I can, I think it will be a good step because there's some room for success there. If you are a Virgo rising, this new moon is happening in your 11th house. 11th house is friendships, it's networks, it's your larger aspirations, it's your hopes and dreams. So this is a great time to dream, maybe set new intentions, like what ideas have been ruminating in your life. You've been doing a lot of work on your health, a lot of you've been doing a lot of studying, you've been doing a lot of behind the scenes maintenance kind of your body and your mind. Maybe it's the time to revolutionize your world. Maybe it's time to dream bigger things. And it could also be a great time to connect with your friends, to find a new network of people who supports you. Maybe people who can help you reach your dreams. Maybe you're looking for a mentor. Maybe you're looking for someone who can help you find that job. It could definitely be a great... It's also really lovely for giving back and maybe, connecting with your community, maybe do some volunteer work, maybe find ways to connect with others through that. But to me, it also just feels like friendships, like who are your friends? How can you spend more time with them? How can you build healthier relationships with them? How can you nurture them and ask them to nurture you and find more balance there. If you are a Libra rising, this is all about your career. This new moon is happening in your 10th house. It's sextiling Uranus in your 8th. You are ready for a change professionally. Maybe there's a leap that you've wanted to take, but you haven't been allowing yourself. So there is definitely opportunities coming your way for professional new beginnings. Maybe starting a new job, maybe you're getting recognition, maybe you're asking for a raise, maybe you're connecting with your boss on a new level. There's definitely a chance for success at self-promotion, success at asking for more responsibilities, finding better connections, finding a better job, even taking a leap and leaving a job. Maybe you've been always dreaming about becoming self-employed, and now is the time that you actually will slowly take the next 6 months to go through all the steps, open that LLC, find a good accountant, and actually become self-employed. The sky's the limit. If you are a Scorpio rising, this new moon is happening in your 9th house. So 9th house is the house of faith. It's the house of religion, philosophy, and the expansion of the mind. In the next 6 months, you may undergo a process of the mind expansion. Your views might change. You may travel somewhere. Maybe you're planning a trip. Maybe you're planning to go somewhere for a couple of months. Chances of taking a new class, becoming a teacher. If you work in education, there might be new beginnings in your work life as well. But perhaps you're thinking of taking a class. Perhaps you're thinking of learning something new. This could be a great time to ask what you're passionate about and how you can bring more of that passion into your life. If you are a Sagittarius rising, this new moon is happening in your 8th house. So there's been a lot of action in your house of in the house of your partner, in the house of your significant relationships. Now we're moving into the house of the resources of your partner, the resources of other people. It's also the house of debts and taxes and death and healing. A lot of kind of challenging things, but also a lot of things that we share with other people. So with a new moon here, there could be healing. Maybe you will start a therapy, maybe you'll start therapy, maybe you'll find a therapist. Maybe something is happening in your partner's life. Maybe their finances are changing. Maybe they found a new job and now they're making more money and your life is changing just because they're sharing their money with you. Starting a project that requires collaborating with others, paying off debts. This could be a lovely 6 months to get rid of debt. Maybe you're applying for a loan. Maybe you're applying for a scholarship, and that will be the longer process where you have to put all of your ducks in a row before you do. So if you are a Capricorn rising, this new moon is happening in your 7th house. So this is affecting your relationships. You can expect new beginnings in relationships. You can expect a relationship to move to a new level. And maybe you're getting married. Maybe you're getting engaged. Maybe you're moving in together. Definitely the question of nurturing your relationships, nurturing yourself, finding that balance between you and your partner will be highlighted for you, as well as professional new beginnings, because 7th house is not just your romantic relationships. It has been classically considered the house of marriage, but even when you enter a business partnership, it is some kind of a marriage between your resources, between your plans, your future desires with other person. So look at all of your commitments, look at all of your contracts, spoken and unspoken, with other people, and find ways to merge together, to join together in a more cohesive and balanced way. If you are an Aquarius rising, this new moon is happening in your 6th house of work and daily life, as well as health and diet and exercise. So you might be beginning work on your health. Maybe it's a good time to schedule an appointment with your doctor. It's a good time to begin a new diet, to begin exercising. Let go of an unhealthy habit. Like if you've been smoking and you've been really dreaming about quitting smoking, this would be, sixth house is like the house of things that befall you sometimes, like health challenges that befall you. How can you prepare yourself for unpredictable situations that might happen to you, like getting sick? Like how can you better your health in order to have a stronger immune system and avoid your body malfunctioning in the future? There might be new beginnings in your professional realm, like maybe you're pioneering a project, maybe you are committing to something. Sixth house has also always been a house of like dedication and sacrifice in a lot of ways. So maybe you're sacrificing hours in order to work on something that you are passionate about. But I don't think it will feel as challenging as it may sound, because you will actually enjoy building a stronger body or a stronger relationship with people at work, or working on a project that you actually enjoy. And I would also say, think about ways you can enjoy work more. Maybe it's a question of bringing your favorite toy and putting it next to your computer at work, or bringing a picture of your loved ones and beautifying your space at work. Like how can you feel more comfortable in your work environment? Last but not least, if you are a Pisces rising, this new moon is happening in your fifth house. So it's affecting your romantic relationships, it's affecting your creativity and your children. So, quite literally, new beginnings in the house of children. You might find out you're pregnant. You might decide to start having a child, or maybe you are having a child. New beginnings surrounding children. Maybe your child is going to a new school. Maybe you're looking for a school for them. Maybe you're connecting with them on a whole other level. Children are not always literal. Sometimes it could be a creative baby. Maybe you've been considering writing a book or pursuing your passions, and you're actually taking that step. You're birthing your creative child. And of course, romantically, there could be a lot of lovely new beginnings where you announce your relationship to the world, or you meet someone new in the next 6 months, and you find fifth house is the house of joy. It's also like the house of enjoyment. So you find joy in the arms of your partner. You find joy in birthing that creative or literal baby and becoming a parent. And also just thinking about your ways of having fun. Maybe there's something that you haven't considered before. Maybe, with the pandemic, you've spent a lot of time at home and you haven't allowed yourself to just go out and hang out. Maybe it's also just a question of like going to a restaurant, going to a museum, and remembering what it's like to be surrounded by people, what it's like to be in a restaurant, not wear a mask, and not sit outside with the outdoor dining like in the wintertime in New York. It was such a mess. Yeah, try to find ways to bring more joy into your life and be open to new beginnings in your relationships and your creative pursuits and the life of your children. This is all I have. Have a great new moon, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.